What's up guys, happy new year. I hope you enjoyed the festive period. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I release another video. I know it's been a while. My village people came to stay with us for Christmas, so haven't been able to film anything. Today we're here to talk about the top 10 best movies from 2020, which is basically saying the best movies out of the year with like the worst movies. So, side note, if you're hearing any background noise, I don't control these noisemakers out there, so apologies. To kick things off, we start right at number 10, which is Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. This movie was fast, dark, and funny all at the same time and had served as a really good ending to the continuity that had been established, at least in my opinion. Uh, to the average DC fan, this film was everything and more, and it features a gratuitous amount of pleasant surprises all throughout the course of the film. At number 9, we have The Old Guard, which featured a ton of compelling performances, especially from the two female leads, Charlize Theron, and I can't remember the black girl's name, but their performances were very compelling. The fights were a lot of fun, kind of John Wick esque, but John Wick does it better. Obviously, no copy is ever better than the original. So this film was actually pretty good. I just feel like it could have done more to explore its premises and characters. But I'm assuming this isn't the last film in the continuity, so we'll see. Up next at number 8, we have The Devil All the Time, which features Tom Holland, Sebastian Stan, and Robert Pattinson, which is Spider-Man, The Winter Soldier, and Batman. So you know you're in for a treat. At its climax, this is a very thrilling film, and for the rest of its runtime, it is a grounded and gritty story, which is almost painful to watch, but in a good way, at least in my opinion. I think how interesting it is depends on who you ask, but to me, it is a gripping and aptly titled story. Up next, at number 7, we have Palm Springs, which is my favorite romance of the year. This film explores mature themes in a fun way and finds a way to balance drama, comedy, and romance. Very nice performances from its leads, and overall, I would say this was a strange ass but very good film. And then at number 6, we have The Five Bloods, which I actually expected to be much higher on my list, right? This film handles some very deep, some very mature themes, and there were a lot of them. So I was surprised by how many of these themes it tried to tackle in a single film. Delroy Lindo's performance is unforgettable and was so good. And overall, I think the film was a very nice story, which maybe was sluggish at points and had a very clever and satisfying ending. So at number 5, we have The Way Back, which was essentially an emotional version of a sports drama, the comeback story types, and was very compelling. Ben Affleck easily knocks this one out of the park, and the story has a lot of depth and feels very authentic. Then at number 4, we have The Invisible Man. I personally think this film is genius in every aspect, from filming to VFX to soundtrack to the performances. Everything about this film just fits together perfectly well. Elizabeth Moss was amazing as she so often is. I don't think I've seen her in anything that she wasn't great in, even if I didn't exactly love the film. And overall, this film is not perfect. Yeah, it has its issues, but it comes very close. So before we get to our big three, which are my three favorite movies of 2020, which I can't even really decide on an order for, here's a few honorable mentions. First off, we have Life in a Year, which was a simple but satisfying romance story. The Photograph, which was a warm romance about loudly realistic people, which was elevated by the performances. The film was so much better because of how well it was acted out. Big ups to Lucky Stanfield. Quinn and Slim, which was a largely predictable but nonetheless beautiful story, which is essentially the Black Bonnie and Clyde. Then we have Birds of Prey, which when I saw was really disappointing, and I swear I did not expect it to get to this list or even honorable mentions. But then I found Wonder Woman pretty disappointing, and Black Widow never came out. So here we are. I expected a lot more, but then it was still good as it was. And the last of our honorable mentions is Sonic the Hedgehog. If you've watched any video game movies, we all know they're always trash. So no one expected Sonic to be even half decent. But it was actually pretty good. Generic, yes, but generic is generic for a reason. And now for my favorite movies, my top three movies of 2020. the big three. I don't have an order for this, but first off, the only drawback of this film, in my opinion, is that it's not really a leisure watch. You don't watch this film if you want to relax because you're going to have to think a lot. But it's epic nonetheless. It's the most epic film on this list by far. It had great performances, very interesting and mind-boggling sci-fi concepts, and overall it was a mind-blowing film. Yes, you guessed it, I'm talking about Tenet by Christopher Nolan, featuring John David Washington, Elizabeth Debicki, and Robert Pattinson, our new Batman. This was a great one. Up next, we have a film that nearly reaches Tenet in terms of scale and how epic it was, but purely through emotion. The production in this film was just too good. You really feel like you're inside the story, like the characters. The story is very simple, but the execution is amazing and it constantly leaves you on the edge of your seat. And what film am I talking about here? Yes, 1917, a great war movie. I cannot forget how I felt when I watched this film. And last but not least, we have a movie that was just way too much fun. In fact, the most entertaining of these three, in my opinion. It has a very well crafted story with a very unique and interesting visual style, a very subtle but sweet brand of comedy, compelling performances of very quirky characters. Yes, I'm talking about The Criminals with Class, The Gentlemen. This film, I fell in love with several new actors, and I feel like Guy Ritchie has redeemed himself from King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. That was just a very messy story. But this movie was great. So that's that for the top 10 movies of 2020. I'll leave links to the trailers of all the movies in the description below. Do you agree with my picks for the top 10 movies of 2020? If you don't, let me know what you thought in the comments. If there's any movie you think was great that I might have missed, let me know in the comment section. If there's any movie on this list that you hated, let me know in the comment section. It means I'm not doing my work properly. Forgive my sins. We've come to the end of yet another video. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Be sure to leave a like and comment so that YouTube knows that you enjoy what I'm doing and other people can see it. Yeah, so I'll see you next time. Peace.